Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is Rocksteady's next entry in their Arkhamverse. It is releasing next year. It is a follow-up to Batman Arkham Knight, but it does not share the same universe as Gotham Knights. That is a separate standalone continuity from the Arkhamverse. Interestingly, though, both Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights appear to make some similar creative decisions in the fact that the game can be played single-player or multiplayer, the fact that there are 4 playable characters from which you can choose to play as at any given time, and the fact that the combat is reinvented from the Arkham series combat and no longer resembles it to a large degree. There have been some changes made to it in both entries. Unfortunately, when Gotham Knights launched about 2.5 weeks ago, the reception was simply not very good. There has been a lot of criticism directed at the game, and it stands to reason that since Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League bears some resemblance to Gotham Knights, it could fall into the same trappings. And I think it is a fair question to ask, will Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League have the same issues that Gotham Knights did from a gameplay perspective, and will it receive the same criticisms from critics and fans that Gotham Knights did? From my perspective, despite the large margin for error that comes with trying anything new and taking risks on the level that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is, as it deviates from the very successful Arkham formula that came before, I'm not concerned, and I don't think that fans or critics are going to be disappointed by Rocksteady's newest entry in their Arkhamverse. It's still unclear to me if some of the decisions, such as multiple playable characters, multiplayer components, RPG elements, and potential games-as-a-service post-launch content are the decisions of the developers and teams themselves or executives at Warner Brothers who are seeing the success of games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla and wanting to shape their games to match sales of games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Either way, I feel that Rocksteady has done a different approach to these elements than Warner Brothers Games Montreal did, and I think that both were noble efforts and noble attempts at creating something new. But in many respects, to me, Gotham Knights feels like it's at war with itself. It has 4 playable characters who are all part of the Bat family, and it's sold as a team-based game, but if you play the whole thing as Batgirl, you're hardly going to see the other characters. There are some cutscenes that try to develop chemistry between the Bat family, but that's never translated into gameplay, and that causes it to just not feel as empathetic to the player. Imagine if in The Last of Us, for example, Ellie was in the game in cutscenes, but you never really saw her in gameplay. The experience would not feel nearly as cathartic or interesting as it does with her as a companion AI. Another issue with this is that Gotham Knights sort of feels impersonal in its story because it's trying to cater to any of the characters you can be playing as. I feel that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League rectifies this already to a large degree simply by having all of the characters present, whether you're playing single player or not. All 4 characters will be in the story, they will be involved in all of the cutscenes, they will all be roaming the open world together, fighting in combat together. So even if you choose to play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League completely by yourself and you're going to main the whole thing as Deadshot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang will be joining you not only in the cutscenes, but in the gameplay. So you'll get to really feel that team dynamic build not only in the story, but also in how you play with the other characters, aiding you in combat, traversal, and all of the other aspects of the game. This will also allow for the story to cater to the characters directly. There will be plot points that are prominently featuring Harley Quinn or Deadshot or Captain Boomerang. They'll be able to get into the characters' histories, and since all of the characters will be involved in the moment-to-moment gameplay, they can build puzzles that are exclusive to certain characters. You might need to use all 4 characters to get a collectible in the open world, and in order to progress to the next level, you may need to use all the skills of all of the characters on the team. And I feel like that's the real difference between the approach of Gotham Knights versus Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to its story and gameplay. Gotham Knights almost feels like it's at war with itself of whether it wants to be another standalone single-player experience or a game that leans into the team-based and multiplayer dynamics, whereas Rocksteady leaned completely into the new mechanics and into the new direction of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. One thing I also like about both games is that they both feel very high concept, in that Gotham Knights is a game that starts by killing off Batman, which feels like a very ballsy move, but unfortunately the game doesn't really stick with that level of risk-taking. To me, Gotham Knights started feeling just very business as usual in Gotham City, just without Batman, but with Suicide Squad, you are literally trying to kill the Justice League while Brainiac is invading Metropolis, which is a city that we haven't explored yet in the Arkhamverse. On top of all of the new content, the new city, the new Justice League characters that we haven't seen, I also feel that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League can benefit from some nostalgia. So even though we have Brainiac invading and boss battles with Justice League members, we could also see the return of the Arkhamverse Batman. We could see what happened after the Nightfall Protocol. We already know that Penguin is going to be in the game to some capacity. And so getting to see the continued plot threads from the Arkham series in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I feel will add another level of benefit that Gotham Knights simply didn't have the luxury of having due to the fact of separating itself from the Arkham continuity. So yes, while Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has the potential to fail, I don't think it will. I think the story potential is off the charts. I think the gameplay potential is really strong, and especially with where Rocksteady wasn't scared to throw out the Arkham mechanics that wouldn't have translated well to this IP, and have instead fully leaned into adopting a new gameplay loop for Suicide Squad. It just feels way more focused. Even in terms of the marketing, Suicide Squad seems to have a real personality to it, whereas Gotham Knights seemed a little bit confused about its identity. But with that being said, I feel that the developers at both Warner Brothers, Games Montreal, and Rocksteady are very talented. There are things in Gotham Knights that paid off very well. I just think the experience as a whole was a little bit lacking for me personally, and clearly for many others who played it. But I don't feel that Rocksteady is going to fall into those same pitfalls because it seems that they have thought around some of those potential issues already. And look, even though Gotham Knights wasn't my favorite game of all time, I'm glad they tried it. I'm glad they tried something different, and I'm glad that they didn't just try to mimic what Rocksteady is doing either with Arkham or with Suicide Squad. I like the variety in these games, and I can't wait to see what both studios do going forward. I'm also very excited for Monolith's Wonder Woman game. I just feel that the future for superhero games is very strong, both from Marvel and from DC. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below regarding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Do you think it will fall into some of those same issues that Gotham Knights did, or do you think that it has a brighter future in terms of its reception? Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching.